Hello, my name's Sam. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Unmasked Outdoors. I'm so glad that rolls off the tongue. Today we're going to go for a hike around the New Forest, but first I'm going to grab some coffee. Right, coffee in hand, actually in car, almond croissant because I'm greedy. I think we're about 5 minutes off this hike that I found on All Trails. So yeah, let's go. It's funny, when I was in that garage getting my coffee and my croissant, there were 2 horse boxes pulled in, and I thought, isn't it lovely that we've evolved and we can now return the favour and give them a lift. If you've never been to Burley, it's an absolute must if you're in the southwest. It really is a gorgeous place. There's lots of like witchy coven stuff. There's a fudge shop, which is very, very good. Just behind that scaffolding. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous place. There's wild horses down here, and hopefully a good walk. Let's go and find it. I feel a little bit annoyed with myself because for stopping in that garage and having a coffee there, because there's so many amazing little cafes in Burley. And I don't know why, I just thought they'd be closed. No idea why, it's Sunday. Oh well, maybe if I get back in time, I will stop there. Also, this trail starts on a road, which is not my favourite, but I imagine we're quite quickly going off-road, so let's see where we get to in a minute. So not only was the first bit by road, but there was no pavement. So, felt like a right div. To the point where a bloke even pulled up next to me and said, "There's a footpath up there, mate." Which is handy, but I'm already in the road, aren't I? I'm not going to clamber up the side of a grass banking. Hey dear, so just be wary of that if you come do this one. It's on All Trails as like Burley something, I'll tell you in a bit. Right, we're about to get off-road. And the start of the footpath is through here. It's quite interesting. Looks muddy. Yeah, let's go. So this hike is about just shy of 8k, I think. On All Trails it's called Burley and Long Pond Circular, I believe. And yeah, just be wary of that first bit, because the way the map takes you is round following the road and there's no pavement. And it's pretty tight. At some points it's single file for cars. And the bloke in the car who pulled up did say that there is a footpath going through the field above, so it's probably a better option. I just was in no position to access it when he stopped, but I think he's only been helpful. So why am I called Unmasked Outdoors? Well, it's because I'm autistic and I'm outdoors. The mystery ends there, I'm afraid. So the reason I started this YouTube channel was to try and maybe inspire some fellow autistic people, anxious people, people who have barriers between them and just getting out and moving. And I can only share what's worked for me, and if what has worked for me works for you, that's awesome. And for everyone else who may watch, I hope you just enjoy it. That's all. I've been making videos for a long time, although I just had a period of time when I didn't make any for quite a few years. When I was younger, I used to make them a lot, and I just enjoy it. So I'm going to start doing it more often. So what were some of the barriers then for me, preventing me from getting out? Before, I used to come out hiking a lot. I think not knowing what to expect is probably a big one for me. Still is to a degree. All Trails is brilliant because you can plan your route out on there, you can preview the route, you can look at other people's reviews of the route, You can look at where you'll be able to park if you're driving. Most people have left information on there about public transport. There'll be reviews to say whether you're likely to encounter other people, whether it's going to be muddy. And I imagine there's a few alternatives to all trails as well, but that's the one I use. And it really helps you know what to expect, I think. Something else as well was maybe having the wrong clothes. And if I did have the right clothes, would they even feel right on my skin? And to be honest, still don't have the right clothes for the weather. The only thing that I've got specifically for walking is my walking boots, which these are Adidas Terex, and they're comfortable, they're durable, and they do the job. Other than that, I'm wearing joggers, a Wild Hearts t-shirt, if you know the Wild Hearts, and just a waterproof jacket. It's only really the shoes you have to get right, and even if you get the shoes wrong, I was going to minimise having wet socks, but I'll stop myself because that is quite horrendous. Right, ooh, look at this for a view. I need to check the map in a second and make sure I'm going the right way. I think I am. Most people you pass on hikes are really friendly. They'll just say hello. You don't have to stop and talk to them if you don't want to. Up north, you might be more likely to. But down south, people will just generally say hello and walk past. The dog might give you a sniff. And, God, listen how quiet it is. Wow. Yeah, so it's quite a pleasant experience, to be honest, as an autistic man. You can see one of the wild horses here. You're not really supposed to interact with them, but they're not aggressive or anything. You just need to be confident with wild animals. They may come up and sniff you and say hello, but that's about it. But as you can see, they're quite tame. I like to just stand near them. I like to be in the presence of a wild animal. It feels quite nice. So I'm just going to stand near it. I'm not going to touch him or her. I'm just going to stand here and absorb some of that tranquility which she seems to be absorbing. Hello. I'm just going to stand here. God, it's so quiet. Really is quite amazing, this. I cannot believe how quiet it is. The New Forest. I'm not sure how long they're allowed to keep calling it the New Forest. It's been here about 1,000 years, I think. It's just going to have to become the forest. Whoa. This bit's quite steep. So equipment for hiking, you don't really need anything to start anyway. Some people have lots of nice expensive equipment and I think that's awesome and I'm a bit jealous. But for the hikes that I do, I don't really need it. So what do I bring? I bring a backpack to keep my water in. I bring an energy gel because I'm prone to sudden low blood sugar. Wow, look at this. And if I'm going over 10k, I'll bring a snack. So today's 8k, so I won't need a snack. Look at this. Can't tell if that's caused by rain or whether it's always there. It's gorgeous around here. Headphones. Some people think headphones, they won't hike without headphones. I used to be one of those people, and now I quite like coming without them, especially when it's so quiet like this. Also, the hiking community, if you wanted to get involved with it, quote unquote community, are very friendly. Actually, the friendliest community that I've kind of become a part of is the running community. I tell you, people are so warm and encouraging no matter what you're doing. I'm going to do some videos about running because I'm not built for running mentally or physically. I'm not particularly good at running. I can't run fast, I can't run really long distances, and yet I'll be out there and I'll be doing it. And if you're out there doing it, the running community welcomes you with open arms. I went for a run in Portugal. I speak very minimal Portuguese, you know, please, thank you, where's the bathroom, that kind of thing. And I was doing a 5k along Lisbon seafront, where the boats dock up. And like 3 or 4 people were just, you know, thumbs up, smiles. And I imagine you'd get that anywhere, whatever country you went to. So look out for more videos on running, because that's something I'd really like to make, because like I said, I'm not very good at it, but I still do it. So can you. Look at this, it's gorgeous. Wow. The main reasons I love hiking and feel the need to hike as well, and exercise generally, is that I've suffered quite poor mental health in my life. I've had panic attacks pretty much my whole life, quite severe ones. I've been in recovery from alcohol for 5 years. I've had bouts of really bad generalised anxiety, and I want to be satisfied if I go to the doctors that I've taken all the appropriate steps that I can, because it comes down to me, doesn't it, ultimately. And there's been times when I have taken all the appropriate steps and I've still had to go to the doctor, but at least I've covered all bases myself, you know. And those bases are, for me, exercise, my diet, which is a work in progress because I just love food, trying to get good sleep, trying to do the right thing, make the right decisions. They're all kind of contributing factors to my general feeling day to day. You know, I work a program, I'm a 12-stepper, and I work a program from alcoholism, and I have to try and live life in a fulfilling and meaningful, useful way. And there's only me that can achieve that. I can't put that on anyone else. I can't expect the world to mould around me and my needs, because I do have needs. I'm autistic and I'm anxious and I have panic attacks, you know, but I can't expect the world to cater for me. I think I can expect an element of reasonable adjustments, like in work and understandings with family and things like that. I think that's reasonable. And I try not to expect too much. I try to replace the word expect with hope. I hope that I can come to those understandings. And then the rest is down to me. So I go to the gym. I'm awful, I don't know what I'm doing, but I do it. I hike and I run. And eating well is a work in progress. Let this cyclist pass. Morning. And that's only for me, you know. Oh, there's a squirrel there. I don't know if you can see him. That's only for me. That's my opinion on my own situation. And I'm not discounting my privileges either. I've been really blessed with a supportive family. I've never been homeless. I've never struggled to earn a living. And I'm very lucky to live in the UK where there's free healthcare. You know, I'm not discounting any of those things. And I'm not gonna presume that what works for me works for everyone else. There's people out there with much more complex needs than me, and my advice might be useless to them and irrelevant, but I'm just sharing my own attitude and outlook towards my own health, and if any of it's relevant to you, you're welcome to it, but I'm not a professional. So think of it as friend to friend. God, it's gorgeous out here. Apart from the odd little incline as well, it's really flat. There's been a lot of muddy puddles though, I will say that. Could have done with some wellies, but testing the waterproofness of these Adidas Terex, that's for sure. I'm pleased to say my socks are only a bit wet. One thing I will say about this walk is that there isn't really anywhere to sit and have a snack or a bit of water. But hey ho, it's only 8k. Whatever that is in miles, 4 miles, something like that. I'm over halfway now. And it's so quiet. I have walked past some people. No friendly dogs yet. That's like a highlight of any walk for me, is getting to say hello to a dog. But it's not finished yet. I think when you're on a hike as well, and other people are on a hike, dogs are quite busy, aren't they? Sniffing about and just in taking it all in. The last thing you want to do is stop and start saying hello. Some do, but they're just enjoying themselves. So I'm not going to try and stop a dog. But if one happens to stop, I'll gladly say hello. Right, I need to check the map because it looks like there's about 5 paths here. They almost look burnt, don't they? I'm hoping they're not. I think they're just dead for the winter and then they'll have a revival in spring. It's quite cool though. I need to come mushroom foraging. I say foraging, I never actually eat the ones that I find, because even if I'm 90% certain, that 10% is quite overwhelming. Overwhelmingly anxiety inducing. So I just like finding them. Right, is it that way or is it up there? It's probably up there because I said it's really flat and that'll be the universe just punishing me. Well, it was actually neither of those ways. I was facing the wrong direction entirely. I'm actually going through here. Little stream. Would you call that a ford? I think does a ford, is that a ford? When it goes across some sort of road or path. Let me know. I was going to say let me know in the comments, but I haven't got any subscribers. So that's a bit pointless. If I ever become at least semi-well known on YouTube, or even if I get 100 subscribers and you go back and watch this first video, let me know if that's a ford. It's about as exciting as it's going to get on this channel. This bit's quite nice, look at this. Really nice. Gorse sort of prickly bushes either side that have stayed green throughout the winter. It's quite typical of where I live in the southwest and the surrounding areas. There's a lot of heathland and you get a lot of gorse. Is gorse the right word? Prickly sort of I don't know, shrubberies. No idea. I don't know anything about plants and shrubs and trees. know a fair bit about mushrooms, but I do I've got an app for that, so I've learnt over the years how to identify some of them. But yeah, really nice. I'm really enjoying this walk. Walking really is one of the best forms of exercise in my opinion. It's free, don't really need a lot to do it. You burn a fair few calories, you know. I've found that I burn about the same amount of calories walking the same distance that I would run. So I don't run particularly far, 10k's about my max. And I'll generally burn the same amount of calories walking a 10k as I would running it, and that's because my heart rate's elevated for a longer period when I'm walking, so that it evens out. And you get to be around wildlife and nature, discover new places, say hello to dogs, horses, all while contributing to your mental and physical health. I just think that's awesome. And we're blessed in this country to have so many nice places to walk, so many nice countryside areas and places that have been marked out on maps. I think it's one area of this country I'm really proud of, is how we've really preserved certain areas of the countryside and we just enjoy them. They're preserved to enjoy, you know, for other reasons too, like animal conservation and things like that, but a big part of it is just because so we can come out and enjoy it. If you're watching this and you're thinking of doing it, just give it a go. Plan your route if you're worried. Again, I'm more sort of aiming this towards fellow neurodivergent people. Plan your walk if you're worried. Choose a circular so you'll end back up at the same point, because some routes are kind of point to point and then you have to try and navigate your way back. Plan your route, do a circular, bring some water with you. One thing I will say is that all trails, the app that I use to navigate, absolutely rinses your battery. So I tend to just kind of look at it as and when I need to. You can have it open in your hand the whole way around, so that you foot on it and it's marked out with a green line, so that you know where you're going and your line is blue, and they just have to match up. And if you go off course, your line will start going in a different direction and you just need to go back. And don't panic if you do go off course, because sometimes you can zoom out a bit and you'll realise that actually the way you're going will just rejoin the original trail in a few yards or whatever. So just give it a go. And you can walk with somebody if you find that more comfortable, or you can do what I do and get out by yourself. About to walk through all this muddy bog section, and these people shouted out, "There's a path through the woods, don't go through there." And that's probably just saved me some even more wet socks. And I believe this will lead us back into the village where we started. Ooh, strong smell of horse manure. I like the smell of horse manure. You can clip that and do with it what you will. Some more New Forest ponies. They're really tame, they don't really bother anyone. Or they'd stop traffic sometimes because they'll just stand in the road. They're very pretty. Yep. Now, All Trails was saying that there was a path up there as to not walking the road, but it's a little bit wider, this one, with some bits at the side where the cars can pass. The other one was just the main road with a steep embankment either side, the one at the start. Another horse up there, look. Some people get really upset if you try and interact with the horses too much. You're not supposed to pet them and feed them and stuff. I've never fed them. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't pet the odd one. Just because they're so gorgeous and I can't resist. So this is the last bit of woodland before we make it out the other side back to where we started. And I think if I've got enough left on the parking, I'll slip my trainers on and just have a look in Burley, see if we can get a coffee. Some horses over there, look. They're all completely different, aren't they? Oh, look, there's one there, look. Don't know how much you can see through there. I think I can zoom on this, but there's one there as well. And here we are back in Burley village. Forgot to say as well, there was a friendly dog back there. That couple who told me to avoid going through the bog, their dog came up and said hello, so icing on the cake. Here we are back at the car. Car parks are absolutely packed now. Right, I'm going to get my trainers on and then we'll have a look round. Right, let's go and have a look round. So one thing about Burley is it's kind of associated with witches and fairies. They have a fairy festival here, which is quite cool. Lots of local artists and vendors and stuff like that. It's one of the witchy shops. So that was the farmhouse. Had a cream tea, farmhouse cream tea, and it was absolutely awesome. Highly recommend. If you're in Burley, swing by here. So that was Burley. Really, really nice little village in the New Forest. If you're into witchy stuff or hiking, or you just want an afternoon out, highly recommend. It does get very, very busy here, especially in the summer. It's packed. So there that I'm, and that is me back at the car. So that was Burley. I've really enjoyed that. A nice hike, a nice coffee. Well, I had tea actually. A scone, and they are pronounced scones by the way. As for cream or jam first, I don't care, but they are scones. So yeah, what a lovely way to spend a Sunday. Glad I could bring you along with me. And see you in the next one. I've got about half an hour drive home now, depending on traffic, and time to get ready for work tomorrow. Have a lovely day. See you soon.